Sikhonathi, good evening. And here we are, another scandal, another week. So tell us about the story. What is this deal all about?
So the passenger rail agency has just decided, well, the chief executive has just decided he's going to outsource all of the investment projects, capital expenditure and maintenance to the Development Bank of Southern Africa, which is another state institution. This is a unilateral and by all means it looks like a secretive decision where both the board and the executive committee are in the dark. They know absolutely nothing about it, how this deal came about, with the need for it, and definitely the organization's overall revenue, annual revenue, is 2 billion rand in 2018. Now they're contracting work for 6 billion rand, 3 times annual revenue, with not a process whatsoever and no controls at all.
So is that what raised the red flag? Is the process, is it the how of this process, or the who?
It is both the who, the how, and the why. There's been absolutely no justification, not an internal process at Prasa to determine why there is this need to outsource all of its work to the Development Bank, 1. 2, there are currently employees inside Prasa who are doing some of that work, and there are consultants who are doing some of that work, contracted for the next 3 years. What is going to happen to them? Why is there a need for this project? There's absolutely no explanation. And in all of this, of course, Development Bank of Southern Africa has been promised a commission of 425 million rands over the period, money that Prasa cannot afford and definitely does not need to be paid.
So in all of this, I'm sure we have to question who is Nkosinathi Sishi, what does he get out of this, where does all of this go, where does it come back? And, you know, does he seem like a dodgy character? Has he ever seemed like a dodgy character?
I must confess that I have not met Nkosinathi Sishi personally.
Oh, we know about him.
But the little I know about him is that he was seconded from the Department of Transport in February to replace yet another interim chief executive at Prasa who resigned. He had replaced yet another actor. In the past 5 years, in the past 2.5 years, there's been no less than 5 chief executives at the passenger rail agency, and they come, serve 3 months each, and out they go, and the scandals keep piling up in terms of losses for the organization.
Seems like the curse of the chair. Definitely it does on that point. But what's been the response from Prasa and the Development Bank?
Prasa, the Development Bank has confirmed indeed it did have these negotiations, but it claims ignorance of the detail and the final, the whole final arrangement. It says that it doesn't know where we got those details because that's not what they had. They did negotiate. Prasa has been treating this, thinking silence will make the story go away or the questions go away. They have absolutely declined to respond to any question. And as I say, that probably is their strategy to get rid of the story.
So what now?
There's a whole lot to be done. There's a lot more to be published. We'll just wait and see if the strategy of silence does work. The organization, last year, on-time performance of its trains and all of its other assets was only 68%. I am led to believe, actually I've got information at my disposal that shows that on-time performance has dropped to about 41% now. So that, imagine if this TV channel was on air for only 41% of the time, where would ENCA be?
Well, no, I certainly wouldn't be here. Okay, well, I have a feeling you might have stopped the signing of this rather murky deal, but let's wait and see how much more digging.
You see, the problem with that deal is that it flouts all governance procedures. National Treasury seems to be unaware of it. The board, everybody, only Sishi knows about the deal and what they need.
And it just makes you question, I mean, how do people think that they will continue to get away with things like this?
Let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see. Okay, thank you very much there for that. That's Sikhonathi Mantshantsha, one of the journalists who worked on this story.